that button, feel the love, it's a treat. Like, come on now, subscribe. Join the party, baby, ride the vibe. One click of love, keep the spirit alive. Hit that button and let's all thrive.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm right back at you. Homewood in the building. Road Boy for life. 15208 forever 412. Come holla at your boy. Check it out. Me and my wife sit here. We watch videos of, different countries, and we talk about this country that we live in is so-called the land of the free, home of the brave. You come here, you just live the good old American life. Bullshit. America is a third world country, and anybody that disagrees, all you have to do is look around. We're going to look at some places right here in Japan, how Japan has some of the most beautifulest scenery. And you're not going to find that in America, in this country that we live in. This country is so greedy. The streets of Japan is extra clean. They will arrest you if you put a cigarette butt out on the street. You can't even smoke cigarettes. You can't even, in some places, not on the streets. I mean, you can, but you can't put the cigarette butt out.
You can't smoke on the streets at all, though.
In some places, well, I mean, I don't,
probably at home, but not on the streets.
But
walking.
You can, if you caught putting a cigarette butt on the street, they gonna arrest you. You getting a fine from the door. Japan has flying cars, hover bikes. All this shit, we don't have none of this shit here in America. Why? Because America doesn't give a fuck about its citizens. At all. This country does not give a fuck about its citizens at all. The cost of living is too fucking high. You're getting paid nothing. You bust your ass. You break your back. Get up, go to work. You ain't even got time to live. You gotta try to squeeze time in to do anything. Family ain't family no more. Nobody sticks together. Nobody comes together. Nobody support one another no more. Now, back in the day, yeah, it was different. Now, this country has gone to shit in a handbag. And it's all over. This country's resources are being used till they're damn near used up. The economy is suffering like crazy. Well, let's get into this video, and I'm gonna come back with some more my opinion. I just want to say this is a free use video. This video is for entertainment purposes and educational purposes. Look at that.
What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today we're coming to you with the 21 best places to visit in Japan. First up,
big up the Island Hopper TV.
I want you to get around Japan, and it is by the Shinkansen bullet train. This is one of the fastest trains in the world, traveling almost 200 miles an hour. That means it can go from Tokyo to Sapporo in 3 hours. Also, the three largest metropolitan areas, Tokyo, Nagoya, and Osaka, are all connected by the Shinkansen, as well as Kyoto, Nagano, and Hiroshima. And one of those views you're going to get is of Mount Fuji as you're going from Tokyo towards Nagoya. And this is a beautiful
I've just
sight.
seen
you can
something.
Also get off the train and explore around Mount Fuji, going up to the...
We're going to take this back a little bit, y'all. I just seen something.
You're going to get is of Mount Fuji, Ensen, as well as Kyoto, Nagano. And
right there. Look at that shape. What does that look like? Don't that look like a giant beetle? This looks like a giant beetle, don't it? That's crazy. That's crazy. I can see it. Look, this is a tail from something. It's just it's like a big creature right here. This whole thing. I'm telling y'all, I'm not out that. If my wife see it and she ain't even, if she looks at it, she'll probably tell you the same thing. Anybody who has that know what I'm talking about. That looks like a beetle. That looks like a tail. This looks like part of this. These look like wings right here. But let's get back into this video. That's something for another time and another conversation.
And Hiroshima. And one of those views you're going to get is of Mount Fuji as you're going from Tokyo
gorgeous.
Towards Nagoya. And this is a beautiful sight. You can also get off the train and explore around Mount Fuji going up to the top. It does snow in the winter months, so you usually will see it snow-capped. But in the summer, it's bare looking. Now, if snow's not your thing, you can head down south to the islands around Okinawa. Now, here you're going to have several different tropical islands with beautiful white sand beaches and Gatorade-colored blue water. There's about 160 islands in the prefecture, which is the southernmost part.
Gatorade-colored blue water? Come on now. Come on now.
He said Gatorade.
He did. Did you hear him? He said Gatorade colored blue water. And you know, but that blue Gatorade, that's a pretty color. It is. So if your water is that color, man, what the fuck is y'all putting in your water? The ecosystem. It's the ecosystem. Look at this water. Now, there's no place in America that is like that. That is like that. Nobody comes to America to travel. What? Yeah, some cities in America are gorgeous cities. Some cities in America are nice, but come on now. Come on now. If you want the infrastructure of this fucking nation, continent, whatever the fuck you want to call it, if you want it to come back together, you got to get it back to function, and you have to start caring about your citizens. Have to start caring about your citizens. Everything is so one-sided. You got let's get into this.
Japan, with the largest island being called Okinawa Island, being about 70 miles long and 7 miles wide. Famous with the diving community for its underwater marine biodiversity. It's also one of the 5 blue zones in the world where they have the highest concentration of centurions. That's people who live to be over 100.
Look at that water.
Known as the Ryukyu Islands, it was turned over to Japan in 1972. It is a bit tucked away from the rest of Japan, so if you do come down here, I would say 3 to 5 days should be good enough. Here we are now in Kyoto, which was the capital of Japan for 100 years, beginning in 794 under the Emperor Kamu. This was the original imperial court city, so it was also the largest city in Japan for a long time. Nowadays, it's famous in Japan for its significance of history, with 3,000 temples and shrines.
I for some reason, ever since I was little, I loved the Japanese culture. Just the scenery alone, just the buildings, and growing up on just watching Japanese cartoons and all the rest of that. Just the scenery and all that. Look at this. Look at this. I would love to just be right there and look at this building. Just look at just peep the whole scene. You know what I mean? Peep the whole scene. Look at this. Even though the water's murky, do you notice anything? Anybody notice anything? Let me tell you. Look at this roof. A roof in America, you'll see all that green stuff on the top. It'll just look ran down. The building will look so, like it's just leaking. It's clean as shit. This whole scene is clean as shit. It's just clean. I guarantee there's nothing out of place on this building. Nothing. And this is from, they kept these buildings like this. I guarantee this was like a castle or something.
all across Kyoto area.
Look at that.
Some of the places to check out are going to be Kinkaku-ji, also Arashima Bamboo Forest. In the area of Arashima, they have a few different sites you might want to explore, so it's definitely worth it to come up here. But there's so many different temples across here and religious sites. Definitely Kyoto would have to be the highest.
Told y'all. Y'all see how clean the grounds is? Look, there's not a cup. There's not a piece of paper. There's not a leaf. There's nothing on the ground except what is supposed to be there. There's nothing on the ground. Do y'all see a leaf? Do y'all see a piece of paper or an ice cream sandwich wrapper anywhere on the ground? No. No. For some reason, everybody's culture is still intact except for ours. We're the only ones in this country who are not allowed to practice our culture or our heritage. Everybody else can do it. Everybody else can still do it except for us. We can't do that. Why? Like I said, that's a debate for another time and another place.
Place on your list probably when you're coming to Japan. You can't really miss Kyoto. Areas like the Niho Castle, you have Kiyomiso Dera, you also have Fushima Inari Taishi. The population of Kyoto is 1.4 million people, so it's definitely not as big as Osaka or Tokyo or even Nagoya, but it is still a very big city to get around. Also, we made a full travel guide of Kyoto. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link below. Now we're headed down south of Kyoto to Osaka. You can easily get here by the Shinkansen bullet train. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And then once you're here in Osaka, you'll realize this is a mega city. It's got 18 million people in the metro area.
Damn.
Osaka is famous for its history, and here you can see the Osaka Castle, also going down to the waterfront where they...
Look at that shit at night. That is beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Look, the water even look clean at night. You got the skyline right there, the city in the back. The skies is all clear. You know what I mean? Look, it's so clean. There ain't even a bird flying. Birds can't even fly around. They probably got to have permission to fly in the air. But I'm just joking on that one, y'all.
Have Dotonbori, and down here they have markets for shopping as well as many different restaurants. This is really a nightlife area, or even in the afternoon. Down here you'll find takoyaki. That's one of the most famous foods in Osaka. You also have
takoyaki.
Don Quixote, which is a famous.
Remember I told y'all about the street?
Stores,
Watch
like
the next.
Mart.
Look. Remember I told y'all about the streets? Now, don't get me wrong. There probably is some places in Japan where it's just fucked up. Don't get me wrong. But that in the background, no. That's something you ride on right there. Nope, we're not getting on that. Or is that just a sign on the building? No, that's a sign on the building. But look at the street. Look at the even right here. Look at it. It's there's nothing on the ground. I mean, I see a couple pieces of paper. That's it. That's it. There's no trash floating in this water right here. You know what I mean? There ain't a homeless person out here asking you for no change and no nothing. Nothing.
You can go inside there. You could take a tour along one of the boats that takes you around the river.
Oh, that is something you get on. Look, they got a little boat right there on the little river right by the... Man, come on now. Come on now. What is wrong with this country? What is wrong with this country that... This is supposed to be one of the richest countries, right? We're supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave. Come here, you can live the American dream. Live the American dream. What is wrong that we cannot have none of it, nothing like this? We just need one place to put. They got what? They got Vegas. You know what I mean? Vegas is a big tourist attraction. You know, the state of Florida is a big tourist attraction. But I want to see shit like this.
Canal system here. And then they have the tower that you can go up to the top of. Osaka is probably one of my favorite cities If you were to compare Osaka and Tokyo,
Look at the street, y'all. Once again, look at the streets. Look at the streets. It may look clustered and all of that, you know, but anybody that's familiar with Osaka, you know, y'all used to watch the old monster movies and Godzilla movies. They always talk about Osaka, Japan. You know what I mean? They always talk about that. So, anyway, look at the street. There's not a bum. There's not a piece of paper. There's not a bird flying around it. There's not even a pigeon on the, and you know your city clean when you ain't got no pigeons. You ain't got no pigeons on on the street. You ain't got nothing. Just cars.
I would probably lean towards Osaka, and you would land at the airport in Kansai. But here in this tower, you can get great views. Look at this, how big Osaka
Wow.
is. I mean, it truly
That is a nice
mega
view.
city. We also did a full travel guide of Osaka. I'll put the link down below in the comments for this one as well. So if you guys are coming to Japan, you definitely want to check out these thorough travel guides that we've done because we show all of the highlights in the main areas. I think a lot of people come to Japan for the first time and they really only think about Tokyo. They don't consider going down to Osaka. But if you include Osaka, Kyoto, and Kobe,
That's what I'll be wanting to see right there. The statues and stuff like that. I would want to see. I would want to see that.
you really get a good experience down in Osaka that might even pass up for many of you what Tokyo brings to the table. And speaking of Kobe, we're actually headed right next door to Osaka. So you have those three cities in this same area. You also have Nara, which we'll be talking about a little later on. Kobe was really an industrial shipbuilding city up until recently. It's become
Wow,
more
that
famous
is
around the
gorgeous.
world
Look at that.
because of Kobe beef as well as Wagyu. Yes, that's right. It
Ooh, there it is too. What is that, Wagyu?
comes from right here in Kobe, Japan. So if you guys are into beef, you got to try this very high grade beef. All right, now we're taking the Shinkansen up north to Tokyo. This here is the capital and the largest city in Japan. In fact, it is one of the largest cities in the world.
There's
with a
McDonald's.
population of 38 million people. Now, as with many places in Japan, English is not
Look at that, man. That is fucking gorgeous. Like, that is gorgeous, man.
widely spoken. Definitely not widely spoken here in Tokyo. So do make sure to download Google Translate before arrival. You're also in one of the safest cities in the world because all across Japan, very safe. There are
I don't
some
see no
areas
melanated people,
in
though.
Shinjuku and the Kabukicho area, just because it is a nightlife.
Ooh, look at
part
that
area,
boat.
It's going to be a little bit less safe than other areas, but either way,
What is that, a
compared to the rest of
taxi?
the world, even Kabukicho is still very safe.
Kabukicho, that look
While here,
refreshing.
make sure you try some ramen. Head over to the Meiji Temple. This is a very beautiful garden and temple area that you should explore. You also have Takashita, which is a street. And this is really a place that's a daytime activity. It's not a nighttime street, so keep that in mind. But then there's many different gardens. As you know, Japanese gardens are some of the
What?
most famous.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That looked like a big ass park, right? Notice anything in this picture? Notice anything in this picture? What don't you see in this picture that you see in every park in America? What the, look. Okay, so for those of y'all that are not noticing this, there is people sitting on the grass. There are people sitting on the grass. Remember how we used to do that back in the day at parks? We would sit on the grass. You don't see people doing that now. Because everybody be letting their dogs shit all over the fucking grass. And there's too many geese. You don't know if you stepping on duck shit or dog or human shit. But look at this. There's no gazebos. There's no shelters. There's no grills. There's no picnic tables. It's just people sitting on the grass. Look, the one person even got their shoes off right here. Even got their shoes off right there. So you know there's something wrong with America when you cannot find a park where people just do that. You got baby strollers right there, people with blankets, like a park's supposed to be.
In the world, and you can check those out all across Tokyo or anywhere really in Japan. Very beautiful, serene, even right here in the heart of the megatropolis of Tokyo. Then they have several different towers that you can go up to, like the Sky Tree, and then other towers getting great views looking out towards Mount Fuji.
I know that tower.
The areas that I would recommend that you stay are going to be in the Shibuya area, maybe even out towards Shinjuku or Harajuku, Ginza, which is the most expensive area.
Time out, y'all. I'm laughing at my wife.
I got into it, my bad.
Because she's over here. He said this little word out there. What was it?
Shibuya.
Shibuya. She was over there dancing, saying it. she's on one, y'all. But that's my baby. There's a H&M. Let me see if I recognize anything else. No, I don't. No, I don't. I guarantee there's a Pepsi sign somewhere in this motherfucker. No, they got some Pepsi.
Really, I would say there's so many different options all across Tokyo Metro. And then if you go a little bit further south, you come to Issei, which is a very beautiful area to explore.
Issei.
And this is home to
That is
the
beautiful.
most sacred temple in all of Japan. So that's the Issei Temple if you guys want to check out that. And in Japanese, Issei means eyes. So you get the idea of just how important Issei really is. They also have several...
The trees is perfectly cut. I think their trees just grow like that. They got special trees. I don't understand it. It's like their trees are perfectly placed and they're so fucking beautiful to make this. Look at the scenery in the background. That is fucking beautiful. That look like a big ass bonsai tree right there. That look like a bonsai tree. Just look at the trees. Peep the whole scene right here, man. Just peep the whole scene. This is fucking crazy.
Different bays and temples out to sea that you can visit. This is kind of like a fishing village as well. So do be sure to try some.
Now this right here, this is my wife's food right here. That is sushi. All sushi. Can you see this, babe?
Nah, I see it.
Look at the lobster tails.
Oh, don't tell me.
No, look. They're just right there. Look, see them? I don't know what this is right here. It look like a claw. But yeah, this is my wife's thing right here.
Some local sushi while here in
Ooh.
Japan. Very, very famous, as you know. Now here we are at Ine-cho. This is on the west side of Japan on Honshu Island, facing towards the Sea of Japan. They've got these beautiful homes right
Now
along
look at
the
that.
lake
That's
and
just a little
waterfront
fishing
here.
village.
So a lot of people come out here for the charm. But the word Ine in Japanese basically indicates natural or nature. Now here we are at a very unique place. This here is Nara. It's known for its temples, the culture, history, shrines, and deer. Nara is about an hour to an hour and a half away from Osaka.
What kind of deer they
You
got?
can either get here by train or you can take a car.
Oh,
wherever you
there they
prefer.
are.
But Nara is definitely one of those places. If you wanted to see the deer, you would go to Nara Park. Many people come here because the deer are so friendly. They'll come right up to you and eat out of your hand, essentially. But yeah, you go out to the botanical garden.
You know why their deer are so friendly? Because ain't nobody fucking hunting them.
All right.
They're not hunting the deer. These animals is probably sacred animals over there. They're not hunting the dang on deer. I guarantee they fish more than anything. But then again, where they get that beef from that they be selling? Yeah. What is a wagyu? Is it an animal? Hey, y'all it might be some Sasquatch meat. You never know. Might be Bigfoot meat. You never know. But the deer is friendly because they're not hunting them. They're not hunting these deer. You don't see deer over in America do nothing like that. A deer will whoop your ass over here.
And you can see very beautiful native plants, including the Japanese blue oaks. While
Look at little Bambi.
Japan, don't forget to check out the cherry blossoms. Obviously, those are going in the springtime. And then if you want
the cherry blossoms are beautiful.
I would aim for around late November. Headed down south a bit. Now we're here in Hiroshima. It is famous as one of the atomic bomb sites, and here they have the symbol of peace, which is the atomic dome. They also have several temples. This was one of the main cities in Japan, especially for their military in World War II, and that's why it was targeted. And then just off the shore a bit is an island called Miyajima, which you can also check out. They have a beautiful temple and shrine here. Now, it is a Shinto shrine. It's important to know that Shinto is different than Buddhism. It is actually the native religion of Japan, dating back centuries. So now we're going to go into the interior of Honshu. This here is high up in the mountains. This is Nagano. For those of you who watch the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, that is, back in 1998, you would have recognized the name. But it's really beautiful up here. They have a lot to see and do, and the nature up here is really some of the best you'll find anywhere in Japan. I mean, you could see the forest and the temples and how everything just kind of blends in. And don't forget about the snow monkeys. As you can see, they're hanging out around the hot springs to stay warm during the cold temperatures of the winter. But now we're headed up to the far north island of Hokkaido. Now up here you can see it's a very cold winter tundra, especially in the winter time. But
not for them.
Yeah, Hokkaido is definitely an island that you can check out. Known for its beautiful wilderness. It's also got world-class powder white snow. Delicious seafood comes from up here. They've got a nice indigenous culture, history that you can evaluate and discover. And it's really a short flight away from Tokyo. You can also check out Tomita Farm.
That
As you
lavender.
can see, this is a place you would go in the springtime with these beautiful flowers rolling over the hills. This is really a picturesque place, as you can see. Lots of different flowers blooming. And then they also have Sapporo, which is famous for beer. Usually most people, that's what they think about. But there's a lot of stuff to discover here in Sapporo, here on Hokkaido Island, including some of the food cuisine that you won't find in other places around Japan. Definitely try the seafood. They've got fish cakes. They've got ikura, which is a salmon roe, and then succulent crab meat comes from here. So lots of seafood. Headed back down to Honshu. Here we are at Hakone. Now,
Hakone.
You can check out some of the shrines as well as explore an onsen. For those of you who've never done a Japanese onsen hot spring massage, it could be a unique
look at that road
that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Maybe Sweden has something similar, but then again, it's still not going to be like they have here in Japan. But
look at that, man.
Hakone with the view.
Look at that. Is oh my goodness, man.
Views of Mount Fuji, such a beautiful place. And of course, the shrine on the lake, you can see right here, another one of those Shinto shrines. Now we're actually going to head over to Kamakura. This actually is famous for its Buddha.
Oh, look at that bridge.
But it is just south of Tokyo. It's a political center for medieval Japan. Modern day Kamakura is now really a resort town. So people come here to just chill out and
there's the
relax.
Buddha.
And now we're going to head back over Honshu towards the west coast. This here is Kanazawa. Now this is a seaside Japanese city, and it is also a political center of the medieval Japan. And nowadays it is known for its Buddhist Zen temples as well as Shinto shrines, just in case you're wondering. The main difference between Shinto and Buddhism is more concerned with the soul and the afterlife, while Shintoism is more concerned with spirituality of this world and this life. And this area is called Nikko. They have
that sounds like two religions that need to just be as one.
It's about an hour.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Northwest of Tokyo. So definitely coming up here for nature. If you're a nature lover, this is where you want to go. You can see the streams and the forest nature. If you're a nature, this area is called Nikko. They have the Nikko National, is known for its Buddhist Zen temples as well as Shinto shrines, just in case you're wondering. The main difference between Shinto and Buddhism is more concerned with the soul and the afterlife, while Shintoism is more concerned with spirituality of this world and this life. And this area is called Nikko. They have the Nikko National Park here. Lots of waterfalls up here.
That is gorgeous.
It's about
right
an
there.
hour to an hour and a half
Shows that
northwest
waterfall.
of Tokyo. So definitely coming up here for nature. If you're a nature lover, this is where you want to go. You can see the streams and the forest, really dense, just so beautiful as you can
Wow, it
see.
is.
Now we're going to actually go down to the far southern part of the main 4 islands. This here is Fukuoka. It is on the island of Kyushu. Interesting story is when I first came to Japan, my very first time, this is where I went, which is really cool. So putting Fukuoka on the list, the #1 place to go on the southernmost island. Don't underestimate this southern island. There's lots to do down here. And if you enjoyed this video, please watch our Kyoto or Osaka video next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Japan travel guide. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You know, once again, like, subscribe, share. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified when I come online or when I drop something new. Hit them thumbs, get them thumbs up. Let's get them thumbs up. Let's get them thumbs up. Let's hit them likes. Especially get them likes. Let's get these let's get these subscribers in. Let's subscribe to the channel. Yeah, but you know, we are living in this country as if we are third world citizens. You know, we barely have freedom of speech. We barely have rights to anything that, you know, we can't never speak. We can't never stand up for ourselves, because if you do, you're wrong. You're a troublemaker. You're what's the political word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but yeah, no. This country is just you know, but right now I live in this third world country. Now I'm keeping my head above water. My wife keeping her head above water. We're both keeping our head above water. It's just we get up, we go to work. Oh, can't miss work, because gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta pay this, gotta pay that. It's getting to the point to where it's a repeative motion, day in, day out. Same thing every day. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing every day. Where is the reward for us getting up and just going to work every day and just, you know, take a break? You know, take a break.
It's almost like a slave plantation
A big ass slave plantation.
for everyone that gotta work.
Yeah. Get on up. Time to go to work. And I'm going to use this as a metaphor, but that's the new cotton fields. Use it as a metaphor. That's what it is. You get up, go to work. You're working in the field. For what? You got to get in where you fit in just to move up the ladder, but while you're trying to fit in, you got to do certain shit just to get in. No, shouldn't have to be that way. You should be able to move. You should be able to move up any corporate ladder or anywhere, any establishment that you are employed by. You should be able to move up that ladder easily. You shouldn't have to work 7 years and still be like a grunt. You're doing all the hard labor. You're doing the hard labor. You work a place 7 years, you should have been moved up the little employment ladder to working on moving to the front office, having your own office space and not really doing a lot. Should be in control of a whole section in your job. No. You be on your job 7-10 years.
Temp for 6 months and haven't been hired in.
Prime example. Can I tell them?
Something like that.
You know, prime example. You a temp. You've been working 6 months and they ain't hired you in yet. Something's wrong with that picture, right? Something's wrong with that picture. I just don't get it, y'all. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. It's we strive, we push, and get nowhere. This is a third world fucking country. Even third world countries, their citizens are, some of them, I ain't gonna say all, but some of them are better off than we are. You know, you got to jump through, even if you want to start, even if you want to, you know, start your own business. And I know some people probably going to get on here. Some people probably going to comment on this. Some people probably won't.
Tell you get out of the country, knowing it's not even, it's our country.
Like, we pay, and I'm going to say this, we pay taxes on land and on roads that don't belong to nobody. That don't belong to nobody. We're told that, well, if you don't like this country, get out. No, motherfucker, you get out. You really don't belong here. We're paying taxes on we're being told we got to pay taxes on land. Say if you buy your property, okay, if you buy some land, you got to pay property taxes.
Your job, you got to pay taxes on.
You got to pay taxes on your job. You know what I mean? It's
the work.
We're getting taxed on everything. even clothes, you're getting taxed for clothes. Getting taxed. Oh, well, you gotta pay a toll just to travel on the road. Once again, these lands don't belong to nobody. Oh, we want to get the foreigners out. You're a foreigner. You're a foreigner on this land. So start getting yourself out. Get rid of yourself. It's been too long, too much. And it's too much of a weight to sit here in this country to where your citizens should be your main objective. Priority. Objective priority. Your citizens should be your main priority. To building up your citizens to where your economy is thriving because your citizens are putting back into where they are. They are opening up business. They are creating employment opportunities for other people. So them people can create employment opportunities for other people, and so on and so on and so on. But no, when you try to do that, you got to go through this, you got to go through that, you got to have the paperwork for this, you got to pay for that, you got to have a permit for this. You can't even build on your own house. You can't even build an extra part to your own house without a permit. Like, for instance, my aunt owned her house. You know, my aunt owned her house. This is back in Pittsburgh in Highland Park. My aunt owned her house. She wanted to put a deck. She put a deck on her house. Don't you know the zoning committee came and questioned her about a deck that she put on her own fucking house to the property that she owned. Told her she had to have a permit to do that. Oh, we gotta have somebody come out and what do they call it? Inspect the foundation and do all of this and do all of that. That's fine, because if you don't know nothing about the foundation, about your foundation work, it's good to have somebody that knows about it. You know, that can tell you, hey, you know, this is a weak spot in your foundation. But you got to have a permit to build on your own property. You got to have a permit to build. And she didn't have no deck that just, you know, you walk out the back door, walk out on the deck. No, her deck was up. It was up. And I think she put a hot tub in, and I think she had to have, she had to change blueprints to her house for that. You know, and that's crazy, man. That's crazy. You know, and that was the American dream, to work and get your own house. Back in the day, how did parents get back in the day work and was able to buy a house?
Can't do it now.
Was able to, back in the day, parents, grandparents was able to work and buy a house. A big house.
Big Mama's house.
Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house had 4 or 5 bedrooms. So when the family come to visit, you got a room to sleep. Not now. Dude, them big houses, they separate them. Oh, this is apartment A, this is apartment B, this is apartment C down there. No. We ain't having people living, we can't have one family live in a big house. We're not making no money off of that. This country is so greedy and so it's just like, you damn near be 90 years old still paying on a house that you should have been paid off when you was in your early 40s or 50s. Your house is, you've been paying on this house for 30 years. People have been paying on houses 30 years and don't own it yet. But how does one get to own a house to where you can't even get a loan to get a house?
Perfect credit.
If you got the perfect credit, you got good credit. You've been with your job a while, so you that's your finances. Like, you know, a couple I know went to apply to get a house. The dumb motherfucker that they went to separated them. Oh, well, you have the credit, but you don't have the employment. What's
She said longevity.
Yeah,
So,
the longevity.
I forget what she said.
You have the credit, but you haven't been on your job long enough. You've been on your job long enough. You've been on your job long enough, but you don't have the credit. Okay, this is a husband and wife team. Why are you separating them? It should be one. Okay, you have the credit. You've been on your job long. Let's get this going. No. Separated. Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck does that? Oh, well, you got the credit, but you haven't been working long enough. You've been working long enough, but you don't have the credit. But y'all are husband and wife, but I can't just put y'all together. Ain't that what the fuck you're supposed to do? Even if you don't use the wife's credit, the husband's credentials is good because he's been on his job more than 3 years. So you could have used that as, you know what I mean? I figured if I'm not going to use the husband's credentials for the job, let's go to the wife because the wife has the credit. So let's use that. No, the dumb motherfucker separated them. Now who the fuck does that? And another thing with fucking credit, dude, and this is probably going to cause a debate or something. I really don't care, but y'all do realize, everybody say, yeah, you know, it's good to have your credit up. Okay, it's good to have your credit up, but for real, let's keep it 100. What is credit? What is credit? If you go to apply for credit, they tell you, oh, we can't give you it because you don't have any. Well, ain't that the whole fucking purpose of me coming to try to get it?
Right.
Like it make sense. We can't give you a credit card because you don't have enough revolving credit. Well, motherfucker, ain't that the whole reason why I'm applying for the fucking credit card, to establish credit? You're supposed to already be in debt to get a fucking credit card. I don't get it. I really don't get it. You gotta jump through. You gotta give a pint of blood, a fingernail, probably a toe.
Right, got 800. Like, what was it? My score was like 800. 15 or 820.
Yeah.
Couldn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like I said, third world country. But a foreigner can come over here, and from the door, they're getting loans, they're getting small business grants, they're getting housing grants, they're getting anything they want, and not even having credit. But me, I've been walking this planet for 56 years. Living in this country for 56 years. When can I get a business loan? When can I get a small startup business loan? I have a business idea. My wife has business ideas. We have business ideas. Why can't we get a startup loan? Oh, we don't have enough revolving credit. We don't have enough debt to get established to get that. But it's a grant. It's a grant. It's not. You're not giving me a loan. I'm applying for a grant. You know, there is a difference between a grant and a loan. A small business grant, you good, but we can't get that. We can't get that. Other people can. Look in your neighborhood right now. You can see a building that's empty right now. In the next 3 to 6 months, you're gonna see that building open. It's gonna be a storefront. It's either gonna be a hair salon, a corner store, or a fucking hookah spot, or a gas station, or a drive-through. Any one of them combinations, that's what it's going to be. And guess who's going to run it? Guess who's going to own it? It's not going to be your stinking ass. It's going to be the Indian people running it, or the Asian folks running it. You know, and I'm not saying this to get no strikes on me, to get my shit shut down, but
It's the truth.
a hit dog is gonna holler. It's the truth. Keep it 100. It's the truth. If my wife was to get up tomorrow morning and be like, babe, I'm gonna go apply for a small business grant so we can get one of these businesses up and going. we do have a business. We do t-shirts. We do t-shirts. So if anybody follows me on any of my social media accounts, they see me post t-shirts. We posted our t-shirts, and there's no support from our community, from our friends, from our family. There's nothing. There's no support. But them same people, friends, family, whatever, will go support the next motherfucker instead of supporting your own to build from within. So that way, if we build from within, we can give back out. So that way you can branch out and do what you got to do. Build wealth. Even though the system is made for us not to do that in this country. And little do people know, I don't know if people's paying attention, but there are key things in certain laws that prevent us from getting anything that we want. We gotta scratch, claw, we gotta kiss ass, we gotta put a mask on and do this and act this way and feel this way and talk this way and walk this way and just to get this. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. Do anybody else do that? No. They just go right in and get it. There are people, average people, that have better ideas than half of these people that are already making billions off of one little dumbass idea. And I just use dumb as a fucking metaphor. You know what I mean? Like, there's a motherfucker right now that is getting paid for making mugs. There's a person that's getting paid right now for patenting scissors. So how did they cut shit back in the day? What was they drinking out of back in the day? It's crazy because it be the littlest ideas, man, that will have you running to the store buying this shit. I ain't gonna front. There's some times where sometimes I'm that idiot. I'll run out and buy something. You know what I mean? But I do show my love. I do show support to small melanated businesses that are trying to up and come. Can't do it by myself. It takes the whole community to do it. Cause I'm gonna just keep it 100. Fuck it. Once a black-owned store gets opened up, guess what? What happens to that store within a month of being open? What happens to that black-owned store within a month of being open? It gets shut down. Not even shut down. People start stealing out of it. You got people hanging out in the front of it, bringing your property value down. You got people hanging out in the store. First thing they want to do is hang out in the store. Hang out in the store. You're stopping customers from coming in, or you buying something. What you hanging out in the store for? You know what I mean? Your street dudes hanging all out in front of the store, parked out in front of the store, blasting their music, doing all this old wild shit. Then you got your females coming in loud, young girls coming in loud, bonnets on their hair, raggedy, dirty ass slippers on, funky ass pajamas, in the store loud as hell, mad cause they don't want to sell you nothing. But they do this to almost every establishment that is owned by black people. What black? I'm quite sure there. I'm quite sure there's some black-owned stores that are doing good. You know, but I don't see a black-owned hair store in my neighborhood that's owned by black people. You know what I mean? I don't see. I see a couple old mom and pop restaurants.
They shut the fair one down.
You know, there was one that we was going to. Floods. It was called Floods. Out here in Akron, you know, we is going to that. Bomb ass food, bomb customer service. The atmosphere in there was great. All of a sudden, Floods is gone. You know, some shiesty, shady shit was going on with the owner, so it's gone. Like, damn, we ain't got nowhere to really go. And I was telling people about Flood, like, yeah, man, y'all gonna have to come up here. We got this restaurant, you know, we can go to. It's called Floods and da 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 da. It's gone. You know, there is a restaurant that we go to, a couple that we go to. I mean, a couple that we go to is kind of expensive. What is it? The Kingfish?
Mm-hmm.
The Kingfish and Fleming's.
But it's not. Yeah.
It's expensive.
Very.
It's very expensive. You know, you these are restaurants to where I don't want to go in there dressed like I'm just going to the corner store with my jeans, my sneaks. You know what I mean? My little hood shit on. No, I want to get dressed. These are the places I want to get dressed to go to. You feel me? What else? There's really no soul food restaurants around up in here in the Akron area. Basically, everything is in Cleveland, in the outer skirts. There's a couple places where black folks work and, you know, they're cooking, but do they really own, do we know if they really own it or are they just the face of it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the old guy, everybody sees him on the internet. Everybody sees him on the internet where the meat just fall right off the bone. Old dude. He's not even the owner of that restaurant. He's just the mascot. Y'all seen tender? It's what it's called, tenderness or something. Old black dude, they call him Unc. He's not the owner of that restaurant. The owner's a white guy, but he's using a black man's face to sell his product. So why can't we flip the script? Why can't we flip the script? Why can't we use a Caucasian to sell our products? This is a third world country that does not allow its citizens... That does not allow its citizens to grow. Period. Period. No, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. No, we almost up to an hour of being on here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But like I said, man. But make sure y'all go check this channel out right here, Alan Hopper TV. You know, big shout out to Alan Hopper TV for supplying everybody with this information. And for me, letting you know, I can bring it to y'all. You know, make sure y'all go subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my channel, Hanging with Carlos Tipton. And you know, like I said, it's so crazy living in this country because I will sit and I just think about things. You know what I mean? I'll just sit and think. You know, and I sit and I listen to my wife. My wife sits there. She talks to me, babe. We should do this and let's look into doing this and let's look into doing that. Okay, let's look into doing it. You know, like we listen to people on YouTube. We listen to them. Oh, you can make $40,000 da 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 this by doing this. Okay, but little do y'all know they don't tell y'all exactly how to do it. They give y'all that little top layer, But you peel that top layer, you got all the rest of these layers there that you got to go through to get this. That you got to do. They don't tell you how. They just tell you, oh, you can do this to get this. But I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to give you the basics, but I'm not really going to get deep. There's only a couple people that we've seen that actually tells you exactly how to do it and how to go about doing it.
But they don't tell you that cost.
Right, but they don't tell you you got to pay for this to get this. Then you got to pay for that to get that. Now you got to go back and repay for this again to keep this. Come on now. Come on now. Just stop. Some people need to stop gatekeeping. You know, some people need to stop gatekeeping because you got somewhere by somebody not gatekeeping and gave you the formula to do what you do. So why would you gatekeep and charge people to do what you got off of somebody else that didn't charge you? But, you know, that like I say, that's another story for another time. But that's my time on here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all taking the time out to watch this video. Drop a comment, leave a like, hit that bell notification, hit that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bang on this subscribe button. Let's bang on that bell. Let's go ahead and just violate that thumbs up. You know what I mean? Let's violate that. So until next time, next video, y'all. Peace. Love y'all. Stay blessed.